Good morning, YouTube. It's Tuesday. It's also conference day. So I had a set of conferences yesterday afternoon, and tonight I have my evening conferences. And I know I always do a video every year about what I'm doing with conferences. And to be honest, I'm not really changing too much. The only thing that's really different this year is I have both virtual and in-person conferences. So I'll be sharing with you guys how I'm trying to manage the chaos with trying to transition easily to online versus in-person. So I'm gonna get ready for my classes for the day, and I will check in with you guys probably during my prep period or my lunch period a little bit later on. I just finished with my 2 earliest classes for the day, and I wanted to check in with you guys and tell you how I'm trying to stay a little bit more organized with my conferences. Now, as you can imagine, conferences are very stressful for teachers everywhere. I think that sometimes we don't really know why a parent is requesting a conference, and that often can make teachers feel a little uneasy. Fortunately, last night I had a really great group of parents, and for every parent, the common goal was to just help their kids. So I think it was a really productive conversation. And one of the things I always do to make sure I have a really productive conversation with the parents is do some sort of like summary sheet. So I have this little summary sheet that I fill out information about the student. I'll look at, for example, their prior grades. I'll look at any classes that they're enrolled, currently. And for chemistry, obviously, I'm looking at the math grade primarily. So I'll look at, for example, their algebra 2 grade. I'll look at, what class they're in right now and just kind of document that information. I'll also include anything that I feel that the student can really improve upon. I also have a little section that breaks down the student achievement in the class, specifically my class, looking at, for example, homework completion, classwork completion, any kind of like assessment results and formatives. All of that information allows me to make some decisions as far as maybe where the student needs to improve and what areas that they really should focus on. This allows our conversations to be really productive, and it allows me to pinpoint what I think would help the student be more successful in the class. In the past, I would use PowerPoint to create these sheets and actually print them out for the parents that were coming in to see me. This year, what I opted to do was actually create it on Google Slides, similar to what I did last year, and I just created all of them on Google Slides, whether it be virtual or in person. I kept them all in the same Google Slides presentation. I did print the ones for the people that were coming in person because I did want to have something to hand them in case they wanted to bring it home and maybe talk to their student at home about what I said. But for the majority, most of my conferences are virtual, so I just kept all of them on the same Google Slides presentation. And as I was going through all the conferences, I was able to go to each individual slide so that I was able to project it on the screen so that I can show the parents in person and I can also show the parents at home. Another thing that made my life so much easier was Google Meet was how we were meeting with parents that chose to be virtual. So what I did for that is I stayed in the Google Meet the entire time. I just muted my camera and my microphone. That way, if I had to transition from an in-person conference to a virtual one, the Google Meet was already set up for me to join. The other thing that you can do to make sure that you maintain confidentiality and privacy in a Google Meet, you can click on the little shield in the lower right-hand corner, and that will allow you to click on Take Quick Access Off so that you can make sure that you only allow people into the Meet that are supposed to be meeting with you. So that way, if a conference runs over, you can absolutely just click deny entry, or you can wait a few moments till the parent leaves so that you can allow the next person into the Google Meet. This helped me a lot so that I could make sure that I got to the conferences on time, because I find if you go over time, you're definitely going to have a hard time keeping up with the parents and making sure that everybody gets the time that they need. I was really careful to make sure that I had everything labeled on the top of that summary sheet to tell me whether or not it was in person or virtual. And so that really helped to keep me organized as well and allowed me to transition to the next meeting a lot more easily. I do have a free copy of this conference information sheet available in my TPT store. So if you want, you can absolutely download it. I will provide a link down below in the description box so you can definitely see if this is something that you would like to use during your conferences. So I have a few more conference sheets to prep, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this channel. I hope you're finding inspiration for things that you can try in your classroom in terms of organization, rapport with students and parents. As always, I wish you a wonderful weekend and a very happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys next week.